Have you ever tried reaching for something on a high shelf and felt that twinge in your back or knees that wasn't there a few years ago? Maybe you've noticed you're a little more cautious on the stairs these days, holding the railing just a bit tighter. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. Getting older comes with a few surprises, and one of them is realizing just how important strong bones really are. Now here's the thing. After the age of 70, our bones naturally begin to lose density. It's something that sneaks up on us. We can feel perfectly fine one day, and the next, a simple stumble could lead to a fracture that takes months to heal. But here's the good news. It's never too late to give your bones the love and support they need. In fact, what you put on your plate every day can play a huge role in how strong and steady you stay on your feet. Today, we're going to talk about 5 foods, yes, just 5, that can make a world of difference when it comes to your bone health. And don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to live off bland salads or snack on raw kale all day. These are real, tasty, everyday foods that you might already enjoy, or will want to start including in your meals more often. So, grab a cozy chair, maybe a cup of tea, and let's have a little chat about your bones. Let's start with a food that's been a staple in many households for generations, yet is often overlooked when it comes to bone health. Sardines. Now I know what you might be thinking. Sardines? Really? Those tiny fish in the tin that you either love or avoid at all costs? But hear me out. These little guys are absolute powerhouses when it comes to supporting your bones. Why? Because they're packed with 2 of the most bone-friendly nutrients out there: calcium and vitamin D. See, most people think of milk when they think of calcium, and milk's not a bad option. But sardines give you a lot more bang for your bite. One small can of sardines can provide over 1/3 of your daily calcium needs. But here's where it gets even better. They also come with vitamin D, which helps your body actually absorb the calcium and use it where it's needed most. Without enough vitamin D, that calcium might as well be taking a detour. Plus, sardines have soft, edible bones that are incredibly rich in calcium. And they're one of the few natural food sources of vitamin D, which becomes even more important as we get older, and our skin doesn't produce as much of it from sunlight. Think of sardines as a double win: strong bones and less risk of vitamin D deficiency. If you've never tried them, or it's been years since you have, give them another shot. Try them mashed on whole grain crackers with a bit of lemon juice and black pepper. Or mix them into a tomato-based pasta sauce, where they just melt right in. You might be surprised by how mild they can taste when paired with the right ingredients. And if you're already a fan, well, your bones are thanking you every time you open a can. Now, while sardines are doing their magic in the calcium and vitamin D department, let's turn our attention to something creamy, versatile, and easy to add to almost any meal: Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is more than just a trendy breakfast food. It's thick, satisfying, and full of bone-building benefits. It's especially great for anyone who might be lactose intolerant or sensitive to milk, because it tends to be easier on the stomach while still delivering a hefty dose of calcium and protein. Protein might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think about bone health, but it plays a quiet, crucial role. Your bones aren't just made of minerals, they also contain collagen, a protein that gives them structure and flexibility. Without enough protein, your body can't build or maintain that structure properly. Greek yogurt gives you both: the protein for the framework and the calcium to strengthen it. You can enjoy it sweet or savory, morning or evening. Add a spoonful of honey and berries for breakfast, or stir in some cucumber, garlic, and herbs for a refreshing dip. It's an easy way to sneak in a little extra nutrition without feeling like you're sacrificing flavor or pleasure. And here's a bonus: many brands of Greek yogurt are now fortified with vitamin D. So you're not just getting calcium and protein, you're giving your body a full support team for maintaining strong, healthy bones. Now, while we're talking about creamy, satisfying foods, let's not forget about something that often gets a bad rap: cheese. Yes, cheese. In moderation, cheese can absolutely be part of a bone-friendly diet. And I'm not talking about nibbling on a tiny corner of it like it's a guilty pleasure. I mean really enjoying it as part of your meals. Hard cheeses like Parmesan and aged cheddar are particularly high in calcium. Even a small sprinkle on your salad or pasta can add up. And for those who have a hard time drinking milk or simply don't enjoy it, cheese is a flavorful way to get that calcium in without forcing yourself to gulp down a glass. Of course, we want to be mindful of sodium and saturated fat, especially if you're watching your blood pressure. But the key here is balance, not elimination. Cheese can be part of a healthy lifestyle, especially when paired with whole foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Imagine a hearty vegetable soup sprinkled with a little grated Parmesan, or a slice of whole grain toast topped with avocado and a few thin slices of feta. Delicious, satisfying, and supportive of those bones that keep you upright, mobile, and independent. And independence, that's what this is really about, isn't it? We're not just talking about bones for the sake of science. We're talking about staying strong so you can keep doing the things you love. Whether that's tending to your garden, picking up your grandchild, or dancing a little in the kitchen when your favorite song comes on. Strong bones mean fewer fractures, less pain, and more freedom. And that's something worth fighting for. Let me tell you a quick story. I recently spoke with a woman in her early 70s. Let's call her Ruth. She told me she'd started having trouble getting out of bed without her hips aching. She assumed it was just part of aging, something to live with. But after talking to her doctor and making a few simple changes in her diet, including adding more calcium and protein-rich foods, she started noticing real improvements. Less stiffness, better balance, even a bit more energy. It wasn't magic, and it didn't happen overnight. But it worked. And it reminded her that it's never too late to take charge of your health. And that brings me to another food you might already have in your pantry, but haven't thought of as a bone booster: almonds. These little nuts are small but mighty when it comes to keeping your bones in top shape. They're rich in magnesium, a mineral that often flies under the radar but plays a key role in bone formation. Here's the deal. Calcium gets a lot of the spotlight when we talk about bones, and rightly so. But magnesium is like calcium's best friend. Without enough of it, your body can't properly use the calcium you're getting. And unfortunately, many older adults aren't getting enough magnesium, often because our diets shift or our bodies don't absorb nutrients as well with age. And that brings me to another food you might already have in your pantry, but haven't thought of as a bone booster: almonds. These little nuts are small but mighty when it comes to keeping your bones in top shape. They're rich in magnesium, a mineral that often flies under the radar but plays a key role in bone formation. Here's the deal. Calcium gets a lot of the spotlight when we talk about bones, and rightly so. But magnesium is like calcium's best friend. Without enough of it, your body can't properly use the calcium you're getting. And unfortunately, many older adults aren't getting enough magnesium, often because our diets shift or our bodies don't absorb nutrients as well with age. Almonds also provide a little bit of calcium themselves, along with healthy fats and protein. They're easy to snack on, toss into oatmeal, blend into smoothies, or even turn into almond butter for toast. Just a small handful each day can support not just your bones, but your heart and brain too. And if you're not a fan of eating them raw, there are so many options now: roasted, unsalted, flavored with herbs, or even chopped into salads or yogurt. The key is consistency. A little bit each day adds up over time. You're not trying to overhaul your entire diet in one night. You're adding strength, one bite at a time. Now, I want to pause here for a moment and just remind you, because this is so important. It's not about being perfect. No one's asking you to eat sardines for breakfast, Greek yogurt for lunch, and almonds for dinner every single day. It's about being aware, making small, thoughtful choices, and giving your body the support it needs to stay strong and steady. You've made it this far in life with wisdom, resilience, and strength, and those qualities don't disappear with age. If anything, they grow deeper. Your bones may need a bit more care now, sure, but you're still in charge. Every meal is a chance to nourish not just your body, but your confidence and your freedom. Now that we've talked about sardines, Greek yogurt, cheese, and almonds, you might be wondering, what else is out there that can make a real difference? Let's keep going, because the next food on our list is something vibrant, colorful, and surprisingly powerful when it comes to bone strength. Something vibrant, colorful, and surprisingly powerful when it comes to bone strength: leafy greens. Yes, those fresh greens you see at the farmer's market or tucked away in the produce aisle. Think spinach, kale, collard greens, Swiss chard, and even bok choy. These vegetables are far more than just salad fillers. They are absolutely loaded with bone-loving nutrients, especially calcium, magnesium, and vitamin K. Now you might be wondering, what's vitamin K got to do with bones? It's actually a bit of a secret weapon. Vitamin K helps your body make proteins that are essential for bone formation. It's like the behind-the-scenes crew that makes sure everything runs smoothly. And as we age, our bodies don't always absorb or produce what they used to. That's why eating plenty of leafy greens becomes so important after 70. I once spoke with a gentleman named Walter. He's 74 and still walks his dog every morning, rain or shine. He told me he used to think salad was rabbit food, something you eat when you're trying to lose weight. But then his doctor gently nudged him to add more greens to his plate, explaining how they help maintain bone density and reduce fracture risk. So, Walter started sneaking a handful of spinach into his scrambled eggs, tossing kale into his soups, and even blending bok choy into smoothies with bananas and berries. A few months later, his blood work showed real improvement, and he said he felt steadier on his feet too. The trick with leafy greens is to find ways to enjoy them. Not everyone loves the taste of raw kale, and honestly, that's okay. Sauté it with garlic and olive oil until it's tender, or mix chopped greens into casseroles and stews. Add a handful of arugula or baby spinach to a sandwich or wrap. The idea isn't to eat like a rabbit, it's to feed your bones what they need in ways that make sense for your lifestyle. And while we're talking about adding color and variety to your meals, let's bring in another unsung hero for bone health: prunes. Yes, prunes. The food that got labeled as just for digestion has been hiding a powerful secret. They're fantastic for your bones. Recent studies have actually shown that eating prunes regularly can help prevent bone loss, especially in postmenopausal women, which is when bone density tends to decline the fastest. Prunes contain a combination of nutrients that are incredibly bone-friendly: vitamin K, boron, magnesium, and even a bit of potassium. But it's not just about the vitamins. Prunes also seem to help reduce inflammation in the body, which is important because chronic inflammation can quietly eat away at bone strength over time. They're sweet, chewy, and incredibly versatile. You can enjoy them as a quick snack, chopped into oatmeal, blended into smoothies, or even stewed with a little cinnamon for a warm, comforting dessert. And before you worry about sugar content, prunes are naturally sweet, but they have a low glycemic index, meaning they won't spike your blood sugar the way processed sweets do. One woman I know, Marjorie, she's a sharp, spunky 78, swears by her daily bone bites. She chops up a few prunes and almonds, adds a sprinkle of cinnamon, and eats it as a little after-lunch treat. She says it's like dessert with a purpose, and I love that. That's the mindset to have. It's not about restriction, it's about intention. What you eat should feel good and do good. Now, if you've been following along, you've probably noticed a pattern here. Strong bones don't come from just one food or one supplement. They come from variety, from nourishing your body with different kinds of nutrients that work together like a team. It's not just about calcium, although that's still a key player. It's about supporting your bones from every angle. Let's pause for a moment and talk about something important that often goes overlooked: how you eat, not just what you eat. After 70, our appetites might change. We might feel full faster or forget to eat meals at regular times. That's totally normal, but it can make it harder to get all the nutrients our bones need. So if you find yourself skipping meals or just nibbling here and there, try creating small, nutrient-rich mini-meals instead of relying on big breakfasts or dinners. A smoothie with Greek yogurt, spinach, and a few prunes? That's a bone-strengthening powerhouse in a glass. Or maybe a bowl of soup with greens and a slice of whole grain toast topped with a bit of cheese. These are the kinds of simple choices that add up. Sometimes, especially after 70, cooking can feel like a chore. Maybe it's just you at home, or maybe your energy isn't what it used to be. That's okay. You don't have to make a gourmet meal every night. Even frozen or pre-chopped veggies can make a difference. The key is to make eating well as easy and enjoyable as possible. Keep ingredients you like on hand. Make extra when you cook and freeze portions for later. Find a rhythm that works for you. I recently heard from a man named Carlos, 81, who lives alone and didn't feel like cooking anymore after his wife passed. But after a small fall that left him with a wrist injury, his doctor told him his bones were thinning more than they should be. That was the wake-up call he needed. He started making simple stir-fries with frozen veggies, canned sardines, and brown rice. Nothing fancy, just smart choices. And over time, not only did his strength return, he felt proud again. Proud that he was doing something just for himself, something that kept him independent. That's what this is really all about, isn't it? Staying independent. Keeping your freedom, your balance, your ability to live life on your terms. And food, believe it or not, plays a huge part in that. Every bite you take can either help build you up or slowly wear you down. And once you realize how much power you still have over your health, everything changes. Let's talk a bit more about vitamin D because it deserves a moment in the spotlight. This nutrient works hand in hand with calcium to strengthen your bones. And yet, so many of us, especially as we get older, aren't getting enough. Our skin doesn't absorb it from sunlight as efficiently, and most foods don't contain much of it naturally. That's why it's important to check labels on foods like yogurt, milk, and even orange juice. Many of them are now fortified with vitamin D. And if you're not getting enough through food and sunshine, talk to your doctor about supplements. It's a small thing that can make a big difference in how your bones hold up over time. But back to food, because before we move on, there's one more thing I want to say about enjoying what you eat. Make it social when you can. Eating with others, even once or twice a week, can make meals more enjoyable. Maybe it's a lunch with a friend, a potluck at your community center, or even a phone call while you're both eating in your own homes. Food connects us, and when we feel connected, we're more likely to take care of ourselves. You're not just feeding your body when you eat these foods, you're feeding your future. You're choosing strength over frailty, freedom over fear. And that's a powerful thing. Now, we've already covered a lot. Sardines, Greek yogurt, cheese, almonds, leafy greens, and prunes. Each of these offers unique support for your bones, whether through calcium, vitamin D, magnesium, or other key nutrients. They each do their part, just like members of a good team. But there's still one more food I want to share with you. One that's often overlooked, but might be sitting in your pantry right now. It's hearty, humble, and absolutely packed with benefits for your bones and beyond. Oats. Yes, good old-fashioned oats. You might think of them as just a breakfast food, or maybe even something a little bland. But oats are much more than a warm bowl on a chilly morning. They're packed with nutrients that quietly support your bones in ways you might not expect. Now, oats don't contain a lot of calcium like dairy does, but what they do offer is a generous amount of magnesium and phosphorus, two minerals that play a critical role in maintaining bone structure and density. Magnesium, in particular, helps your body use calcium more effectively, almost like a traffic controller making sure the calcium gets to where it's needed most. And phosphorus? That's one of the major building blocks of bones, making up more than half of their mineral content. What's beautiful about oats is how easy they are to include in your routine. You don't need fancy recipes. A simple bowl of oatmeal with sliced bananas, a sprinkle of cinnamon, and maybe a spoonful of chopped almonds is already a powerhouse breakfast for your bones. If you want to switch things up, try overnight oats. You just mix them with some Greek yogurt or milk. Let them soak in the fridge, and enjoy them cold the next day. They're soft, satisfying, and easy on the stomach. I remember a woman named Eleanor, 83 years young, who told me she used to skip breakfast most mornings. She just didn't feel hungry, she said. But after reading about how skipping meals can affect bone health and energy levels, she decided to start with something light and comforting, oatmeal. At first, it was just a few bites. Then a few more. Now, she makes it every morning, topping it with blueberries and walnuts. She said it helps her feel steadier, both in energy and balance as the day goes on. It's amazing how small habits like that can snowball into something powerful. And that brings us to something even more important: consistency. It's not about chasing superfoods or revamping your whole diet overnight. It's about the little things you do regularly. Those are the choices that matter most. A handful of prunes here, a bowl of oats there, some sautéed spinach with dinner. It all adds up. And let's be real. At this stage of life, you've already learned a lot. You've raised families, built careers, weathered storms. You've already proven your strength in so many ways. Now, it's about preserving it. Protecting what you've built, your mobility, your independence, your joy. And food is one of the most powerful tools you have. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Is it really that simple? Just eat the right foods and I'll stay strong? Well, there's a little more to it. Food lays the foundation, but your lifestyle also plays a huge role. Things like staying active, even light walking or stretching, help your bones stay strong by encouraging them to rebuild. Think of your bones like muscles. The more you use them, the more they respond. Hydration is key too. Water helps your cells do their jobs, keeps your joints lubricated, and even helps your body absorb those bone-strengthening nutrients. So don't wait until you're thirsty. Sip throughout the day. Add a slice of lemon or cucumber if plain water doesn't appeal to you. But let's not forget one of the most overlooked elements of bone health: joy. Yes, joy. You see, stress, loneliness, and even sadness can have physical effects on our bodies, including our bones. Chronic stress can lead to inflammation, which over time can interfere with the body's ability to maintain strong bones. But when you find joy in a walk with a friend, a phone call with family, a hobby that makes time fly, your body feels it. Your bones feel it. So take care of your spirit just as much as you take care of your meals. Find reasons to laugh. Sing if you want to. Dance in your kitchen. Say yes to things that make you feel alive. Because a healthy life isn't just about vitamins. It's about vitality. And here's something else that's important to remember. It's never too late. Even if you feel like you've neglected your health or haven't always made the best choices, so what? That's the past. What matters is the next bite, the next step, the next choice you make today. Your bones are always rebuilding themselves, even now. You can still nourish them, protect them, strengthen them. So whether you're 70, 75, or pushing 90, there's still time to make a difference. Still time to say, my health matters. I matter. If you're feeling overwhelmed or not sure where to start, just choose one thing. Maybe tomorrow morning, you have a bowl of oats instead of toast. Maybe you grab a few prunes as a snack. Maybe you add a handful of spinach to your lunch. You don't have to do it all at once. Just begin. And here's a gentle reminder. Don't be afraid to ask for support. Talk to your doctor about bone density screenings or whether a vitamin D supplement is right for you. Share this journey with a friend or loved one. Maybe even make a game out of it. See who can come up with the tastiest, most bone-boosting meal of the week. You're not alone in this. There's a whole community of folks out there navigating the same stage of life with the same hopes. To stay strong, stay active, and enjoy every day they're given. So to wrap it all up in a way that feels natural, not like a lecture or a checklist, let's just say this. Your bones are your silent companions. They've carried you through a lifetime. And now, you have the chance to give them a little love back. With every meal, every movement, and every moment of self-care, you're building a stronger foundation for the life you still get to live. And you know what? You deserve that. You deserve to feel strong and supported inside and out. If this conversation resonated with you, if you feel more confident or inspired about how to care for your bones, go ahead and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's hear what works for you. What foods have helped you feel better? What little changes have made a big difference? And if you found this video helpful, take a second to like it and subscribe to the channel. We've got more practical, uplifting content just like this, because your health journey isn't over. In fact, it's just getting good. Thanks for spending this time with me, truly. And remember, strong bones aren't just about strength. They're about freedom. Freedom to walk, dance, garden, laugh, and live life fully, on your terms. Here's to living your best life at any age, especially this one.